In today's video, we're going to be talking about the pandemic that is sweeping over the world right now, and especially the country with young women, and that is the good old OF model pandemic, the OnlyFans girls, basically the new age version of pornography, which is crazy because let me tell you something. If you haven't heard already, it's big news. There's a 20-year-old OF model named Sophie Rain that claims to have made $43 million in a year from pictures. Now, I didn't do a lot of research into this. I don't need to. It's on the topic of the video to get it in the nitty gritties of whether she's showing everything, whether she's getting piped or whatever. The thing is, holy fucking shit, $43 million in a year. That is so much goddamn money. And the profit margins on that, like not to get businessy, but like no inventory. Imagining no ad spend. Okay, maybe she pays like some agency. She gives a fee to OnlyFans or whatever, but like 43 million. I don't even know if that's profit or if that's top line revenue. That might just be her profit in her pocket as a 20-year-old. It just doesn't really make sense because you don't see that amount of money in any other industry or realm of business or income opportunity everywhere. And it breaks my brain a little bit, and it makes me a little bit fearful for some of these people, some of these individuals, because we've all heard it before. Quick money is not good money. When you make that amount of money so quickly, I don't know if that comes without a cost. I don't think that is good for you. I mean, you can even hear about stories about guys who are in their 20s that come up on a crypto bag and make like $1 million in a year. Or they've run up $5 million in their online business or their e-com or whatever. And like that fucks them up bad. And let's be honest, unless you just randomly threw money into a crypto and like whatever, you probably did a lot of research to make that. You also probably, if you ran up money with an e-com business, like you did a lot of work. There's this concept that I like to think about, which is that there's no such thing, like there's no such thing as something for nothing, right? I like to say it, there's no such thing as a free lunch. Yet in this industry, in this pandemic that is sweeping across the country and the whole world right now, that's essentially what it is. Now, don't get me wrong. I know they're working hard. They're doing stuff. They're running their own business, they're doing photo shoots, they're putting out tons of social media content. Like I know they're not doing nothing at all, but the reward that some of these women are getting is crazy. And I just don't think that's good. I don't think that's good for society. I don't think that's good for these individual girls. And this isn't cope. This isn't like jealous. I mean, honestly, am I jealous of $43 million? Yeah, I am a little bit jealous. Well, let's be straight about that. But that's not really what the topic of this video is about. That's not really the point here. I think the dangers to our society is, number one, you used to be heavily criticized if you were a porn star, right? If you're a woman that decided to go into the porn industry, you're dirty, you're trashy, you're a hoe, you're getting ran through, like, massive red flag, you like heavy stigma around you. But now you don't have to do that, but you're basically still a porn star. You're a sex worker. You are making content which is glorifying your physical body in the pursuit of dollars. And that is just, I don't care if you're religious or not religious or what the hell you believe in, like that's just not a healthy, wholesome thing to be doing. And I think the problem that this creates is more and more women, because there's less stigma around selling your body, being a sex worker or selling out. The more that there's less of a stigma around that, the more women are doing it. And I think the last thing that our society needs, that has tons of problems and issues which we are trying to fix, the last thing we need is a higher percentage of the female population going and doing this type of behavior. And it's also, it's tough and it's challenging for high performing guys, for entrepreneurial men, for go-getters, for people who are crushing it, who want to ultimately end up with a beautiful woman that has values and an amazing personality and has a lot to bring to the table. And the more and more we are essentially encouraging and allowing women to go into this line of work, it cuts down the pool significantly of the amount of women that are available to guys that actually have morals and to guys that actually like want a good girl that doesn't sell ass and feet pics online. So it's just sad. Like, and when you look at the work and the sacrifice that is required to make that type of bag on OnlyFans, it is minimal compared to what you need to do. I mean, think about how many men spend decades grinding, sacrificing, working their fucking ass off, all the stress, the pain, the loss, the regret, the failures, to not even make a sliver of that over decades. And a girl can just get on, a young girl who was fucking blessed in the gene pool. Because let's be honest, it's not like you did zero work, but it's the comparison of work and effort and sacrifice. It's like, you got lucky in the gene pool. Cool, good for you. You had nothing to do with that. Your mom or your grandma or your grandpa, someone in your gene pool was fucking hot. So now you're hot and you have a nice body, whatever. Cool, you went to Pilates a couple times, you went to the gym, you ate clean, you did your nails, you watched a few makeup tutorials. Nice. That's not that fucking hard. That's not that hard to do. And so I think what this leads to is another issue, which is massive entitlement. Because I don't believe that a lot of these young women understand how good they have it or how easy they have it by just, they fucking post TikToks of them dancing, shaking their tits and their ass, and then have a link to OnlyFans and they're making all this money. It leads to an inflated sense of self where they're basically valued so high for their physical appearance, and now they're making money on top of it. Like, I don't think the world needs more entitled women who think that they are the absolute shit, that their shit doesn't stink because they fucking look good and are making money posting themselves online. Like, I just don't think that, I don't think our society needs that. I don't think that the men, the hardworking men who are out there need that in society. And I don't think we need this boss bitch, I got my own money type vibe. Like, if you're a girl and you want to work hard and do your thing and like whatever, like I get that and I can totally respect that. But I don't know that having a lot of women on a mass scale, because let's be honest, it's growing. The amount of people, like the amount of young girls who are going into this industry, what is going to happen to our society if 50% of young women are getting on the OnlyFans train and they're like, yeah, I'm just going to sell my body? I don't know if that's a society that I want to live in. I don't know if that's a society that I want to raise kids and build a family in, personally, right? If you think about, again, I want to touch on this point of young women's status being inflated. What's just fucking crazy to me is, like, think about men's trajectory and status. In order to build status, it's like money, fame, connections, whatever. A lot of it is financial success or, you know, career success, whatever. And let's say you're at this like super hyper inflated status, right, of a man. You've worked 30 years to build your fame and your fortune and your connections, and you're in all these amazing restaurants around the world. You're traveling to Dubai. You've got, you know, all the material possessions, etc. You're a hot girl, a hot young girl. You're getting invited to that. So by being in those two places, let's just put the example, you're on a yacht in Dubai that you purchased because you worked hard and you have all the money, whatever. And then you're inviting all these young hot girls, being in the same, you're basically saying they're the same value as me. We're hanging out doing this. Everybody in this realm, on this boat is the same. It's not like you have a homeless person sitting there and some plumber. It's like, no. Anyone who's on this boat is like of a certain level of status. decades of hard work, and like, I just think it's crazy that young women, and I'm a part of the problem, unfortunately, right? Like, my monkey brain sees this shit on social media, girls shaking their ass and tits around, and the monkey brain is just like, whoa, what? I immediately have to like, yo, snap out of it. I'm not gonna fucking watch that shit because I'm in the middle of my workday and I need to fucking build my business and build my dreams, and like, that is not gonna fucking help me by any means. So it's crazy. And then let's also talk about, last point here is what are the implications of all these men just being addicted to jerking off to their favorite influencers? What is that gonna do to their motivation, their life force? Every day they're, busting a nut, releasing basically their life force, their primal energy, instincts, and biology, busting that into a napkin. What does that do to them wanting to have serious relationships? If every day I can just fucking sit in my bedroom and just crank one out to some hot influencer that I never even have a fucking chance of getting in real life, what does that do to my motivation? What does that do to me wanting to go out and build a family, or even like, what does it do to my standards? What does it do to my realistic expectations of what's possible? I don't think that's healthy for the male brain. I feel the same way about porn. It's like, bro, you're pleasuring yourself to the image of a fucking 12 out of 10, like the most beautiful, gorgeous, perfect proportions, plump lips, whatever. And then plastic surgery, super fit body. It's like, dude, you could not score that broad in real life if you had a fucking gun to your head. So why are you like beating off to it? Then you're gonna go on a date with some like random like normal girl and be like, she's gonna take her clothes off, and you're gonna be like, I've seen better. I pleasure myself every day to someone that looks better or has more of that like pure sexual attraction. It's just not healthy for the brain, not healthy for society. I don't like the way that it's going. There's a lot of things here that I've covered. What are your thoughts on this? I think this is maybe beginning to be controversial. There's probably a lot of people who are like, oh, I support the girls and blah, blah, blah. And, oh, let the women do whatever they want. It's like, yeah, but like to a certain degree. We also got to like look at the implications of that. It's like, yeah, drive your car fast on the freeway, but to a certain degree. 75 miles an hour is fine, but don't go 100. That's just reckless. Let's think about the implications here. Drop your thoughts below. Thanks for watching. Cheers.